I'm not sure how to start this video. I was scrolling yesterday and came across a YouTube video by a guy named Connor Woodman. And the theme of the video, and I'll link it below so you can go watch it for yourself, was basically that you've consumed enough information in your life. You've watched enough TikToks, you've watched enough movies, you've read enough books, and you have no excuse to not be creating something every single day. And it was a very encouraging video. So shout out to Connor for making that. And it kind of sparked my interest to make this video. I was definitely convicted by the message of that and how so often I'm caught up in my own head about creating and making stuff, and all the time struggling with thoughts of imposter syndrome and am I good enough to make a thing? Am I a filmmaker? Am I a good enough videographer? Am I a good enough dad? Am I a good enough husband? And there's just all these thoughts that just hit you, and I'm sure there are other people out there feeling the same way, that you are just constantly battling this imposter syndrome. So I'm making this video as kind of a declaration to myself, an encouragement to myself to give myself the okay to create more. I'm reading this book by Teresa Jordan. It's called The Year of Living Virtuously. And in the introduction, there was a spot there that I'll read you real quick. It has a line in it. It says, "Though self-improvement is one of America's favorite pastimes, we don't seem to be advancing at a pace that puts the self-help industry at risk." And sometimes I catch myself second guessing, sharing what's going through my head, because I'm just a small creator. I don't have this big presence on YouTube or the internet anymore. And I think that's the thing that cripples all of us. Second guessing, completely just coming up away from that, feeling like we're not good enough. And the sobering truth is, you probably, like myself, maybe we're not good enough. Like maybe we don't have it all together, and maybe we aren't the best of the best. And I don't think that that's the point. I think the point of this is that we are on this earth for a short amount of time, and we should use it to have real experiences, and creating something is just a response to those experiences. So I was deeply moved by that video. I looked this up. Forbes figured out that the average American spends 2 hours and 25 minutes per day on social media. And then the average person watches 3 hours of TV every single day. And maybe you're like me and you're like, I don't think I watch that much stuff. And you probably aren't. You're probably a little more intentional with your time. So I think those stats are a little bit jaded one way or another, but I think the root of the stat is true, in that we're all spending too much time doom scrolling and finding ourselves just completely stuck in this loop of just going down the rabbit trail, and it leads to a dark place. There was a time on the internet where you could scroll to the bottom of something and you'd hit the bottom. It would be like, that's it. There's no more stuff on this page. And you would close your computer and you'd move on with your day. And so I'm feeling convicted. So I'm going to do something that I like to do, which is just have a challenge for myself to push me forward. And you don't have to do this necessarily. This is just a made up thing for myself. but I'm going to try to go the next 7 days. I've taken on some rules I'm going to put into place for this, a underconsumption challenge. Let's call it that. And so the rules I've put into place is I need to spend 15 minutes or less time on the internet each day. That could be 0 minutes, but if I need to check my email or something, or if I need to send a message, I have to spend 15 minutes or less on the internet. And then I can only send up to 15 messages in a day, whether that be a text message or a Telegram message or respond to somebody. Everything else has to be a phone call or in person. And then I have to spend 30 minutes a day exercising, and I have to spend an hour creating something each day. And another goal in this that I'm not going to hold too tightly, but I'm going to try to spend as little money as possible and try to watch what I'm spending as well. So I'm going to call this an underconsumption challenge for myself. And it's just to kind of remind myself that I'm capable of difficult things. I'm able to plant my flag in this place of the world and say, I'm going to continue to create something from the heart. Hopefully it spreads joy and love to other people. Hopefully it encourages other people. I'm going to try to do some more tech reviews in the next week or so. But I am going to be leaning more into some of the content around just trying to be a better person and the things that I'm finding as I'm going along, and hopefully sharing it with you. So I hope that you'll stick with me. I know a lot of you folks have followed me for my photography stuff or my tech stuff, and I'm still going to continue to do that. But hopefully you'll hang out and be a part of this journey. But this video is about you. This video is about what is something that you could do today to create. It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be the best thing ever. Seth Godin, he uses the term shipping. So what is something that you can ship today figuratively? It doesn't have to be literally shipping something, but maybe it is. Maybe it's writing a letter. Maybe it's making a film like this or a video like this. Maybe it's drawing a picture. Maybe it's calling someone that you care about. Maybe it's going to visit someone. And what is it, the thing that you know in your gut that you need to do, but aren't? Because when you don't share that with everybody else, you are leaving us all just a little bit less joyful. So I hope that this is your permission to get ahead in your journey of being a creator in whatever way that looks. So I love you. I'll see you later. I'll let you know how this goes. So I'm gonna make a journal in the next week about my progress with this, and we'll see you.